Hi Aries, and welcome to your August 2020 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to talk to you about the energies coming in for your sign. Thank you so much for coming by and checking out this video. I'm hoping to really provide some nice, tranquil healing space for you as we talk about this month ahead. So some of the energies coming in for you this month. It's not bad, it's not good, but we've got a little bit of a middle ground issue that is like super clear to me as I'm getting into your energy. As you guys might have heard me talking about before, whenever I'm doing these general readings, I will always set an intention that whichever signs I'm reading for, to see symbolism or synchronicities within my day that will help me intuitively understand what the sign is going through. So as I was going through my day today and thinking about Aries, I had a pretty good time and things felt nice and empowered and things felt warm. Things felt, there was a good sense of camaraderie in my life. There was also a few things that went strange though. Little things, very, very small things. There's something about pressure, okay? And what you're doing to release pressure that was like very clear in some of the symbols that I was seeing. Because I kept seeing in almost every single experience as I was meditating on your energy, something dealing with a buildup of pressure and something not wanting to release that. So it does feel like the Aries energy line is not willing to have tranquility very easily right now. It feels like Aries can know like so in such simple terms like what they need and kind of associate what they need with something a little bit dangerous, because I do think that there's a fear of things being too easy, or there's a fear of things being not enough of a challenge. Aries is all about challenges that make us stronger, the building of endurance, the overcoming of obstacles, and how we condition ourselves to be stronger because of that. So one of the scariest things for an Aries I've learned lately is to actually face a challenge-less life, or to actually involve themselves in something that is not really difficult. So the first thing that I want to say intuitively for your energy this month, Aries, is give yourself, like, why not? Why just let it be a test here over this next month. Anything that is an unnecessary challenge, or anything that is hard in your life that is not necessary, could you just maybe release that now and see how much better things get? Because we've all got a few sets of challenges, like every single person right now, that are not avoidable. So it's really tough on the signs that are challenge oriented, like Aries and Leo and Capricorn and Virgo. These signs are having a tough time in Leo season because there's enough challenges without that need to have even more challenges. So to need to have even more challenges right now is to almost take things to like a level of, what do I want to say? Like the closest that I can intuitively articulate this is like a level of like red alert or something, where there's like a sense of danger, or there's a sense of like overdoing things, or putting a sense of stress or strain on your body, or lack of pressure release that is dangerous almost. So this is just what I really wanted to bring to your attention, so that you can realize this as early as possible. And anything that you can see in your life that is an unnecessary risk, an unnecessary challenge, an unnecessary creation of pressure needs to be nullified, okay? Probably the most important thing I'm saying this month for anybody, okay? And it can be even weird, like little mundane things as well. Like say you're like in public and you feel like you need to sneeze or something, but you don't want to sneeze because it's like sneezing has a new connotation now. And maybe you like hold back the sneeze, but it was such a pressurized sneeze that like it's like dangerous to like, you're going to injure yourself. So anything that deals with that, like holding things back, holding on to pressure, not going to, what do I want to say? Because this message is quite clear. Not going to sleep when you naturally feel you need to and you have that opportunity. Choosing to stay awake, taking on some kind of challenge. Anything that unnecessarily is an adrenaline rush. So any kind of like high stakes, I don't know, sports or like gaming or anything that like gets your heart going in a way that's like not like say you're like running down a very like calm and beautiful coastline, and this doesn't have to be something that's like, you know, overwhelming, but it should be tranquil, but you're letting it become overwhelming. Or like maybe you're in your like beautiful house or something and you're playing a video game or something, and it's like really giving you a heated like adrenaline rush, but you're in like a very comfortable like nice house. Like anything that's incongruent like that, you have to really watch out for this month. And why is that? That's because it's all about core strength here. We talked in your season back in March and April about the development of the core strength for Aries, and that's going to tie into now. So if we couldn't do that back then, we have to be super cautious during Leo season. During Virgo season, it's not really the case, but, and you know, we're already getting into Leo season, so this doesn't last that long. But I will say specifically at the end of July and like very beginning of August, it is a time that's a bit of an accident indication for some people. Or it could potentially be that if they're really being impulsive and creating a very pressurized and unnecessary adrenaline-based environment for themselves. So definitely the people who are like adrenaline junkies are going to be very clear now. So if you've been like a covert adrenaline junkie, oh my gosh, I've made up a new term. We have covert narcissists, and now we have covert adrenaline addicts. So you should see that really clearly now. And that's pretty clear for all the fire signs. And all the fire signs can actually be this way a little bit just as a characteristic, where if things are too calm or too easy or too, you know, if the difficulty level is not set high enough, there's no need to be at the table. You know, there's no need to be partaking if it's too simple. So in a year like this where we've got a lot of Capricorn, this is why Aries struggles this year, is because the challenges are like ingrained. They're not created or forged. So Aries always wants to forge a new challenge or forge a new level, as I was talking about, but it's already ingrained, so it's already there. So it's like double the challenge for Aries. And all of the striving signs of the zodiac, you know, the people who are doing good right now are the people who don't feel the need to strive, but at the same time, they don't procrastinate and they're not lazy. They're still willing to, you know, put in the work and move forward, but it's not just about the obstacles. So anyway, Aries, one more intuitive message before we get into the week to week. So you also don't want to hide from the fact that you need to really see a difference, okay? Not necessarily right this second, but by September, okay, Aries needs to see some kind of difference from like the last year contextually. You've got 6 of Swords in your reading, you've got Temperance, you've got 4 of Swords, Queen of Cups too. You are changing, okay? You're shifting as a person. And I think that, again, too much focus or too much time wasted or too much, you know, anything that's a time waste, like gaming or anything that's taking you out of your own body, has a purpose and is okay sometimes, but not really now, okay? Not really now, because you need to be very cognizant of everything this month, okay? Again, that's why it's kind of a coping mechanism for Aries to like make a challenge or make an obstacle or play some kind of game, or whether that's like a video game or like a real game or like a game of ego or a game of thrones, I don't know. It does feel that way for Aries. It's like this is the time where it's not a game, and this is the time where we're really talking about your well-being and your vitality and the amount of pressure that you're working with as a person, which does not need to be any more than necessary right now. So seeing a difference is important. So very small term stable changes in diet, in sleep, in rest, in calmness are really important to see for Aries, so that you can not be in like red alert and not be in any kind of danger zone, okay? Just when it comes to the use of your energy or the spending of your time, money, or assets or capabilities, all of those things need to be like really well oiled right now. But on the other hand, for those of you who have like totally come into contact with this tendency, which is well to do sometimes, like in some years, like in 2019, for example, when Jupiter was in Sagittarius, it was a great time to forge your own obstacles and to face your own challenges and to take things, you know, the bar like 10 times higher. Like Aries could really thrive that year, but it's a different thing this year where it's not really about raising the bar. It's more about optimizing the already present aspects of a certain infrastructure of our lives, and then just raising the bar. Sometimes we don't even use what we already have as an advantage. We just try to make everything on our own, or we try to build everything from nothing, and it's not really the using the energy in a satisfiable way. So it's just all food for thought. But anyway, let's talk about the week to week Aries. Week number 1, you've got 5 of Wands rooted down by Temperance. So no need, again, that's sort of what I was thinking about too. You've got, the balance is already rooted down. You've got a sense of balance. You've got a sense of things being well aspected and well placed. So there's no need to compete with it or turn it into something more volatile than it is. Because what you can kind of see like that is like everything kind of coming into place and everything maybe being at a level of security and sustainability that you might have never even known in your life. But it maybe it doesn't quite click, and you walk out of your door one day and you're like, I think I'm going to take on something new, or I think I'm going to take on something that at the end of the day is just going to bring in a certain amount of stress that is completely distracting from what you've now accomplished. And that is the tender point of being an Aries period is we as Aries people, you kind of climb the mountain and you climb these really steep possibilities, and it's all because of getting to that goal or getting to that aspirational point. But then once the aspirational point is achieved, that can be quite like scary for an Aries to get there, because it doesn't mean much, because it's all been in your upward motivation. So you will see that you want a new motivation, especially in the first week of August, but you just need to sit and feel what this amount of health feels like, or feel what these present moments feel like. And then it'll be quite easy in Virgo season to start making new goals if you wanted to. But you've got something to learn in like the stillness within the balance that is actually there for you all. Week number 2, you have Page of Wands rooted down by the Devil. So the difficult experiences of the past, any addictive tendencies, any coping mechanisms, like all of this we're talking about, it's always going to be giving you a creative solution. It's always going to be fueling your creativity. And I think that that's what Aries wants throughout all of this. Like I'm kind of getting, or at least in my opinion, I think that that's what all this is coming back to. You're like, I want a more creative edge. I want to be manifesting more into the world. And if it takes me putting so much pressure on myself so that things are uncomfortable, so that I am motivated enough to do that, that's just that. And it's not coming through consciously like that, but you might see that that's a lot of the reason why things are not stable yet. And then that's just kind of like the question, I think, in the second week is like, is stability something that we actually want? That's kind of a tough question as Aries. Aries really is not a sign of stability. It's, it's the youngest sign, so it needs a sense of, pioneering or terrain to conquer or something like that, because it's really not the sign that deals with, just occupying space and just sitting and just, feeling the world around. Aries wants to move forward. It's that progressive Mars cardinal energy. So I would definitely look in the second week into how you can do that without such a strong sense of pressure, because the pressure is needed at times, but it's just not the right time for pressure. Week number 3, you guys have got 4 of Swords rooted down by Queen of Cups. It really switches, okay? And we're getting towards Virgo season there. Something really changes starting in the 3rd week, where it's like it finally clicked, okay? That's kind of exactly what I want to see for you guys this month. What I feel that Aries can benefit the most from is those 2 energies. So as if we haven't all had enough time to just kind of sit and be inside and have solitude this year with everything that's going on, you're going to feel that in a new way. And it's going to be, I think, wholesomely rewarding, where, I don't know, your mind is at ease in a new place. Also where, any of the water placements that you have, so any water signs in your chart will really shine. Look towards any planetary water placements and see how you can work more with that. Because as we hit Virgo season, it becomes very great to use the water element. So any type of hydration, any type of healing near water, or sleeping as much as possible with Four of Swords, and reflecting on where things went wrong, reflecting on why things have felt so uncontainable. You know, it's like your energy is so far outside of yourself, which is a cool gift to have, and a cool sort of superpower that you do have. But I do think that it's kind of like the blood rushes to the head right now. You know, Leo and Aries both deal with the face and the head to some degree, especially Aries, but Leo does as well. Even though it's the heart, it can be like the brain and the face, and, you know, the crown and the hair and things like that. So it's a very head focused time. We've got to make sure, you know, if we're having headaches, or if we're feeling hot, you know, or if we're you know, too much fire, Chiron being in Aries too, just going retrograde, and Mars being in Aries, and Sun being in Leo. What I do want to talk about also in this reading is that you are going to have motivation and purpose, and you're going to really start coming into contact with the higher goals and higher intrigue of your life. And that's just why it's so important for you guys to not be in the middle of some kind of self-concocted challenge that is not along those lines. So to be super clear, and I know that this is kind of like potentially contradictory, it's not horrible to be facing a challenge that deals with your more overarching motivation in life, but it has to be that. So this can't be like impulsively concocted challenges or impulsively found narratives. Like the impulse is going to be high, I think. So like, you know, a strong drive to connect with other people, to have relationships, to have, you know, a new type of success, and that will work for now, but it's so temporary. So you just really want to make sure that things are like lasting, and make sure that things are not just impulse, but conjunct your motivation. So fourth week, Six of Swords rooted down by Two of Wands. Six of Swords, so that makes sense for you guys. You will sail away from some of these things that are going on. So these things that you feel are problems in your life right now, or these things that you feel are not where you want to be, it's not permanent, okay? It's not going to last forever. It's just like this point of reference for you that really develops the next horizon. So with Two of Wands rooting down Six of Swords, you're going to have a lot of flexibility about your next choices or about your next moves. There's going to be a lot of open freedom for Aries in how they move forward, which again is the exact reason why we don't want to create a whole like chain of events now that have like a year's worth of connotation when we're about to be so free. We could really bypass that sense of freedom if we're too contracted out. But it doesn't mean that it's bad if you've already contracted as an Aries, or if you finally sort of decided where you're going to be for the next few years. That's great. But if you haven't decided it yet, I wouldn't decide it right this second, okay? That's sort of to be super clear what I mean. But overall, Aries, a great month of transition for you as you learn so much about your physicality, and you learn so much about your presence in your own life, and about what, and this is kind of hard to explain, but there's some kind of strong spiritual significance just in your like posturing and in your movement through your space, like how you're physically manifesting, how your energy is in and out of your body, in your like very direct space. This is very significant for you spiritually, and it has a lot to do with the chakra system, and it has a lot to do with Chiron going retrograde in your sign, and about how our subtle energetic choices, spiritual choices, physical choices all come together and work in tandem to manifest and create our surrounding reality. So you can like learn a lot of like super strong spiritual esoteric stuff this month, and with that knowledge you have not obviously complete control over your life or your reality, because there's always an element of surprise, and there's always at least a small element of humans not being in control, but you can get more control now. for sure, or through learning these spiritual lessons here and now. But anyway, Aries, thank you so much for being here. I hope you've enjoyed the general reading. I am going to jump over to Patreon now for the extended. If you would like to hear more about this, see a central theme and 2 supporting themes with extra cards and more information, you can feel free to jump over to Patreon, which I will link below, as well as in the center of this video. Patreon is a great way to support this channel, and there's other content over there. I do weekly tea chats on Saturday. All readings are early and ad-free, and you get all the extended readings just for the 1 monthly fee of $5. So if you would like to check it out, I will see you over there. Thank you so much, Aries, and as always, your likes, comments, and subscribes here on YouTube are also super helpful. So I will talk to you later. Good luck this month. Bye.